Hi, Emmanuel here with T2S, and T2S stands for Transformed to Succeed. In this video today, I'm gonna just walk you through the steps on how you can actually create or build an application that will allow you, let's say you have a tracking or like a car company. So you have a car company and you have drivers. So you want to track to all of your vehicles. You want to know where your trucks, your vehicles, your cars are during the day or during the time that they're being used. AWS offers a way to do all of that, and that's what I'm gonna walk you through. This is a project. You can find it also on AWS, but I wanted to make it a little bit more simple by just sharing this with you. And this could be a project that you can do for a company, all right? A truck company or a transportation company. So they have cars, they have vehicles, they have rentals, for instance, and you want to know where your cars or vehicles or trucks may be. This is what we're gonna do now. I'm gonna help you build and deploy that kind of application. This is the architecture of our entire project. What you see here, this is what you're gonna install on your vehicles. So you install a device on your truck or your vehicle that you wanna track, which will enable that device. I mean, the device will have an application which will communicate with your AWS account. And this is number two. AWS offers IoT Core. It's a service, Internet of Things, which allows you to connect one or many devices to your account. Then you're gonna need these two here. You're gonna need the Amazon Location Service, and you will also need Lambda. Lambda function allows you to trigger something. You use a code that you upload to your Lambda, and then you set up a trigger. Every time there is an event, this event will trigger the code to run, and when the code run, it's gonna communicate. In our case, it's gonna communicate with this one here, and this one then will communicate also with Event Bridge. Event Bridge will set up some type of messaging, and that would be this one here. You use SNS to take care of that, Simple Notification Service. Simple Notification Service is, it's simple. You create a topic, you subscribe to that topic using an email or a text or phone to receive text messages and stuff. So after, one thing that we need to keep in mind is that whatever happens, the Event Bridge service will take that and store it in here. So we have a storage component to our infrastructure, and here we're using Kinesis. Kinesis, it's a real-time data streaming. So it's gonna ingest every piece of information, and that will be also stored. We want to store, eventually we will store our application and all the libraries and packages on S3. And the reason why we do that is that we would like to access our application over the internet. So we're gonna set up CloudFront, which will allow us to create that distribution using an S3 bucket as an origin. And then we're gonna configure some policies there, permissions and stuff like that, to gain access to our application using S3 via CloudFront, Amazon Athena here, and Amazon QuickSight. That's for analysis and then visualization of our map. So in the end, we're gonna see our map. We'll see it on over the internet. We'll get there. But before we do it, so this is something that I wanted to show you. This is what we will create first. After creating the map, we're gonna then add our devices. And in this case, we will not use the actual devices. We'll just use sample devices. We're gonna use these vehicles, and I'll show you how to do that. And these vehicles will be moving on our map. It's gonna be very visual. And as they move, you can see the history, because everything will be stored, analyzed, and visualized. So that's kind of like the point. The prerequisites for this project, you need, number one, you need an AWS account. Number two, you need the AWS CLI and installed and configured. Then just do this with me. All right, let's jump right into our system. And then the one thing that I'm using what they call a Visual Studio Code. This is an application that I use. It allows me to see and do everything in one place. And you're gonna see it as we jump into our project here. So this is we're gonna go to our project here. What I've done, I've summarized everything here. What I've done, I've summarized everything. Here I created just a bash shell script to help me, use the commands and see kind of like lay out the process. So process number one, we're gonna need to install the application. And how do we do that? We just git clone this repository here. So we're gonna git clone this entire repository. So I will just do that. And then before you do it, make sure that you are where you need to be. And then first we create our working environment. So I've created my working environment, and this is the name. All right, this is the name. So I can do this. So you see everything related to AWS. This is where I put it. So I have quite a few things here, but created this one here specifically as an individual or unique project. So I'm gonna move into that, and this is where I'm gonna store my entire project. So I have notes MD, which will allow me to store whatever information that I need to use to configure certain files and stuff like that. And this script here, or this file, has all of the steps. All right, it has all of the steps. Clear my screen, and as I said, first you need to git clone this repository. This repository, as I said, it's an AWS project. I just wanted to make it a little bit simple for you here by showing how you can do it. Press enter, and once you do that, you're gonna see this and clear my screen. Then we go to the next point under step number one. We're gonna move, I'll copy this, paste it here, then I will explain what this means. The cd is change directory. So we change directory and go into this. And remember, this is our working directory for this specific application. So I'm gonna press enter, clear my screen, and when I ls, I want to list, I want to display whatever we have in this location. So this is what we need to work on this project. So the next, what we do, we will need to move to this directory. Technically, it's just to move here. And for some reason, you may, the documentation may not have been updated, or it's not probably current. But the point is, find this here. So that's what I need to do. So I'm gonna, first of all, ls. When I ls, I see that this is where I need to go next. This is it. All right. So I need to cd, go here. And next, I need to, I'll clear my screen, ls. So the next directory where I need to go is this one here, the tracking. See it here? So this is where I need to go. So I'm gonna cd again. So every time you have a project that deals with like moving from one directory to the next, just go step by step. Don't go from like the parent directory to the child of the grandchild directory of the parent directory, if that makes sense. Sometimes it may get confusing. So take one step at a time, like here, and then go next down here. All right. So I do this, and I am now here. And once I'm here, I'm gonna ls. Once I'm here, so this is what I see here. And what we need to do next is to copy this one here. I'll copy that command, put it here, and I'm gonna do some explaining here. First of all, we need to specify the region where we'll be deploying our application. Mine, it's US East down there. So there are three commands that we want to do here, two things that we want to do. First, we want to make this bash shell script executable. And how do you make it executable? It is by just changing the permissions using the chmod command. Every time you see an, it means that you're adding additional commands to the previous command, so that you run all of these commands on one line and at the same time. So it won't be at the same time, but one will go first, and then a second will go second, and third, and the list goes on. But the point is, when you see this one, it means that I want to run all of these commands in just one line. Okay. So first we make this file executable. This is the file in question. And then we're gonna put some variables into our environment, which is the region. And finally, we will run this bash shell script. And this bash shell script will create CloudFormation stacks. A stack, it's a grouping of different components that you want to deploy in the cloud. Okay, this could be, in our case, we use CloudFormation for AWS, and you can do the same with Azure, using Azure specific services to do so, as well as Google. I'll press enter. We're gonna create all of these stacks. So sometimes they may take some time, and that's why I'll pause the video and come back when it's all done. So we've deployed, actually we have deployed the stacks that we wanted to deploy. And to verify, you can go to your Amazon CloudFormation here, dashboard. So you're gonna come here. If you refresh, so you see so far we have 3 created, and they say create complete, create complete, create complete. So that's done. And now we're gonna go back to our terminal here. Back to our terminal, we follow our process. I'm gonna clear my screen. And now that we have done that, we've completed step number 1, and we're gonna go now to step number 2. And step number 2, we first have to go to this location here. So we're gonna have to go find the CF, CloudFormation directory. We have to find it. And how do we find it? So I'm gonna ls, it's not here, so I'll do cd, and they say that we have to go to this one here. And if you just copy and paste this, you may have some issues finding this, okay? So that's why I said first go to the guidance here. So I'll keep doing cd ... and this is what I need. And then you see, if you compare these two here, so you see this one here, it's a little bit different. So guidance for tracking assets and locating devices, so that it's changed. And if you just copy and paste this, it's gonna confuse you a little bit. And once we get here, we need to find the CF directory. So ls, and here it is. Okay, I'll clear my screen and go to the CF directory. Clear my screen again, ls, to see what I have here. Here we have some YAML files here. So we have the IoT resources. And what we want to do next is to create another CloudFormation stack. I'll copy this here. You run this command in this location, okay? Not anywhere else. And I press enter. So the CloudFormation has been created. We can verify what's the name. We're gonna give it this name here. So let's see if we've created that stack. So we go back to our CloudFormation dashboard. I'll refresh my screen, and it's in progress here. See that? This is what we just created, and it says it's in progress. So while we wait for it to complete, we will go back to our command line and continue with our deployment. So let's see what we need to do next. What we need to do next is to say, okay, let's describe the stacks that we're gonna describe this stack here, which we have just provisioned. So I will copy this command here, copy that command, paste it here, and then this is we just created create complete. So it's completed, and you can verify. You go back to your here and refresh, you're gonna see that it's completed. So the deployment has been complete. Back to our command line, and we continue with our process here. And to stop this, if you do enter, you're gonna get to the end. It says end at the end there at the bottom. Press Q to exit. Clear my screen. Let's go to step number 3. Step number 3, this is where we're gonna visualize our application. And how do we visualize our application? We visualize our application by first going to this location here. So you're gonna make sure you go to this location. So something is, this command doesn't look right. Hold on. Okay, it should be src. This is where we need to be. So we need to go to this location here. So where do you find this? You find it here. And where do you find this here? You find it in this directory. And the parent directory is this one. That's the main working environment. So I'm gonna cd go back, and we are already here. This is the main directory. So I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna just change this here, because that's confusing, right? I'm gonna change that and then put it there, because that's what we have. So they need, whoever updated this document, they need to review it. It's gonna be the same here too. Perfect. Because this is where we are, and if I ls, the next place where we need to go, it's gonna be this one here, CF, and this is CF. So we're gonna go to CF, then I'll clear my screen, and hold on. Yeah, I think we're past actually step 2. So what we need to do is, okay, we need to go to step 3, right? Yeah, we need to go to step 3. Sorry about that. So the step 3, instead we go to SRC. I'm gonna go back to my terminal here. So we're gonna do this, and then we go to Amazon. Yeah, this is the next step. And then we go to tracking. And once we are in tracking, ls, this is where we need to be, SRC. Okay, ls, you're gonna see this is what we need for our application, right? This is what we need. And at some point, we're gonna build now the application in this location. All right, but before we do that, we need to first test our application locally. And to do that, we use this command here, because what we need these IDs. We have the read-only Cognito pool ID and the other one here. I'm gonna copy these here, put them in my note, in my notes here. So I'll clear that, do this. Okay, so that's saved. And next, what I need to do is to configure this file here, configuration.js file. And when I configure, I'll use these IDs here. Clear my screen, ls, this is the configuration that we need, configuration file we need to configure. I'm gonna use Nano. You can use any editing tool that you may have, Vim or VI. So I'll use Nano. I'm gonna come here, and what I need to do is to replace those values there. Okay, so I have replaced these IDs 1 and 2, read only and write only. Also, I have changed my region to be the correct one, where we have already been deploying our infrastructure. And in my case, it's gonna be US East 1. And I don't care if you see some of these this information, because I'm gonna delete everything here in a moment. So we have that, and what you do, you just save your file configuration. So you save this file here, that's saved. And now what we need to do is to go to this location here, tracking, data streaming. And once we get there, we're gonna start our application for testing. So I'm gonna do that, and this is where I am, okay? And we'll do npm start. Okay, before we do this, we need to do one more thing. Yeah, we need to do one more thing, and I will explain that to you. Okay, so I ran this command and I got this error. The reason why I got this error, it's because I skipped a step here. If you go to step number 1, which means that npm is not installed yet, so we move to this place here, but I did not install that. So I'm gonna make sure that you follow, you use this entire command. All right, so don't miss out on that. I'm gonna clear my screen, and what I need to do is just npm install. This will take some time, so I'm gonna pause and come back when it's done. Okay, that is done, and now I'll clear my screen. Try to run that command again to start my application. npm start. You see, now it's showing this. I'll take this here. So I'm gonna copy and then paste it on any browser here. So I'll do that. And remember, we're testing this locally. If you recall, that's our first step, right? So we have created a map, and what we need to do next is to make sure that we add devices to track, and those devices should be seen here on this map. Let's go back to our steps here. We go back to our steps. I'm gonna just press Q to get out, or to exit or stop. So we have stopped our application. We are now going to step number 5. Step number 5 is to add our devices, connect our devices. And to do that, we go back to and now we go to our console here. We're gonna go to the AWS IoT. AWS IoT securely allows you to connect, test, and manage your IoT devices. And this is Internet of Things. So devices that you can connect. We are not, today in this demo, we are not connecting any device here, but we're just testing. And to test, we're gonna go to the left column here. You see test here. So click there. And what we need to do, let me see if I have this code here. If I have this code here, yes, I do. So what we need to do, we're gonna change this here to, let's say, epoch time. We're just gonna use that as our timestamp. What we need to do, I'm gonna copy this here. Copy this. And then we go back to our website, to our management console. I'm gonna paste that here. And I'll give it a name like locating trucks, something like that. So I'll just do that. Make sure you publish. So you give a topic name, a name to this topic. Then we choose the message payload, then publish. So when you do publish, go back to your map here, click on run demo here, and then you can close and watch how these vehicles are going to appear. So here you have the first one. So you see the first one moving, and you're gonna see the others moving. So there's a second one here moving. There should be a third one. Let's see if it's gonna also appear from someplace. So it gives you, at least we have 2 here, and there should be another one, or maybe not. All right, so that we have here, and you can select, click on this truck number 1. And then you see it gives you details, last reported, and the name of the truck. This is kind of like how things are going to work. But remember, so far we have successfully deployed our application, and everything seems to be working okay. But we are only testing this locally on our local system. So we want to test this over the internet, right? And to do that, we're gonna have to create a bucket first. So we're gonna go here. We will create a bucket. I'm gonna create a bucket. I'll give it a name. Locating trucks. And I'll say 2024. That's the only thing you do here. Give it a name. And then after giving it a name, don't change anything. You just go down here at the bottom, create bucket. Click on create bucket. And that's done. You just do nothing else. And then after doing this, let's just go back to our steps so that you make sense of what we are doing now. So we've done this, and now we are on step number 6. We have just created a bucket, and now we want to build and upload our application files, right? And to do that, we go to our parent directory, and from there we look for this directory, and then we're gonna work on in this location. So that's what we need to do next. So here we are already where we need to be, right? This is where we need to be. So if you PWD to see where you are on your file system, we are here. So this is the working directory, right? And we are in here, and this is where we are located at and where we need to be. So I'll clear the screen, and what we need to do now is to run this command here. We're going to run that command. Copy it, paste it here. What this means, the npm, that's a Node Package Manager. It's built on JavaScript. So we're going to build our application, which was written using JavaScript. So that's what we're using, npm. So I'll press enter. So it's going to build that, and it may take probably not a long time. So it's done here. And now that it's done, I'm going to clear my screen and go to the next step. And the next step, what we want to do, first of all, we need to be in the right directory. You see here, we need to go to the build directory, which is like a child directory of this. When we ran this command, it created the build directory. So if you ls here, you're gonna see the build here. So this is where we need to go next. So we're gonna go there, clear my screen, and now that we are here, what we want to do is to copy everything that we have here, and I'll explain this to you in a moment. So we want to copy, this is the command to copy everything to your S3 bucket, and we copy everything that we have in here. That's why we have the dot, and this is the path to the S3 bucket where we want to send a copy of everything that we have in here, right? But make sure that you replace this with the correct S3 bucket name. The bucket name is, so you go back to your management console, get the name, and go back to this command, paste it there, and what you do, you just press enter. And this will copy everything to your S3 bucket. So that's done, and you can go to your management console to verify if everything has been copied here. So if you just refresh here, you're gonna see everything. We have assets, we have favicon here, we have index HTML file. So that's been copied to our S3 bucket. Back to our VSC. So we're back here. If you ls, so those are the things that we just copied to, and then the command that we use here You see, the recursive flag here is to say if it's a directory, everything inside that directory will also copy that to our S3 bucket. So that's the point here. I'm gonna clear my screen, typing it right. That helps. So now, step number 7. We're close to the end. We're gonna have to deploy our CloudFront distribution. Remember, we want now to give access to our application over the internet. So we go to our management console. I've already opened much of my stuff here. So we're gonna go to CloudFront here, and we need to create a distribution. So create a distribution. When you create a distribution here, what I need to do is you go select the origin, which will be our bucket here, and then we just leave the name as it is. Select this one here, origin access control settings, and here you're gonna have to select this one here. This is it, right? And then click here, create new OEC. So click there, leave everything as it is, press click create, and you come down here at the bottom. You don't do anything else rather than just create distribution. So click there. Okay, of course you're gonna have to enable security protections, which is recommended. So click check, make sure that you come here, and then check the enable security protections, and eventually click the create distribution. So we are creating our distribution here. Now next you copy this here. See here, you have to copy. What this does, it allows CloudFront to communicate with S3 by manipulating some of the S3 bucket permissions. So we go to our bucket. This is our bucket. Click on, on this tab here, click permissions. Scroll up, go to bucket policy here, and click edit. This is why you're gonna paste what you copied from here. You see, this is what we copied, and then we paste it in here. What this policy does, it's gonna allow CloudFront to pretty much to use S3 that S3 bucket that we have created as the origin. It has access to pull data and stuff like that. So, and at the end here, at the bottom here, click save changes. You may not probably see because of my camera here. Hold on, I need to move that just a little bit here. So I'm gonna put it here for now. All right. So what I wanted to say is you just click save changes. All right. So that is done. We have the policy here. Back to our steps here. Almost done. Almost done. So we have done everything under step 7. And now we go to step 8. Step 8, this is where we have to view our cloud, to view our application via CloudFront, meaning we can see it. We see our application over the internet. And to do that, first we need to go back again to this location, tracking data streaming. We're gonna have to first start our application. After doing that, then we go to the CloudFront dashboard to look for the domain name. And once we have the domain name, we want to add this at the end, and we should be able to access our application over the internet. All right, so let's do that. First, we move to here. This is where we need to be, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, this is where we need to be, tracking data streaming. I'll clear my screen, and I'm gonna start the application again. Just looking for my application here, my command. So I'll do npm start, right? Yeah, npm start command. So I'm gonna run that. It's gonna start the system here, so that the application is up and running. And now what we need to do next is go back to our CloudFront here. So we are here. I can close that. Look for under general here. See general. So stay on that tab. Don't go to security origins or anything else. And we are here, and this is what we need, the domain name. So I'll paste that, I'll copy that. I go here, and I'll paste this, and then I'm gonna add index.html, and then I press enter. And now we see our map, and I click run demo, and I close. You're gonna see the cars here. This is it. So you have done it, and now you can share this website name to your manager or anybody. Also, you can customize the domain name by using Route 53 as a service on AWS. You can point this to a specific domain. You can do even more. So you can add more layers to everything here. So how now do you clean up? So now we're talking about cleanup. Let's go to VSC, and first of all, congratulations, you've done it. All right. So we go to our process here. How do you clean up? So you're gonna have to delete your CloudFormation stacks. There should be 4. Delete them. Delete your S3 bucket. Disable your cloud distribution. When you disabled it, you will not be able to delete it right away. You have to wait, give it some time, and then later on you should be able to delete it. Stop the application by entering the letter Q, and that's what I'm gonna do now. That's done. And then I go to my website to begin cleaning up the system. I can close this one here, and then I'll start deleting. So thank you, really, I thank you so much, because this is a big project that you have worked on. It's a hands-on project. My students at T2S Transform to Succeed have worked on this, and I wanted to share it with anybody on YouTube, or everybody on YouTube, to just, you know, it's free stuff. Watch this, and if you want to enroll in one of the programs that we offer at Transform to Succeed T2S, just reach out to us. Go to our website, transformtosucceed.com, and you'll find more information about the cloud and DevOps training that we do offer. Otherwise, thank you. Happy deployment or the provisioning of your infrastructure. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.